Hello, welcome to the second episode of Planet Zoo of our Little Asia Zoo. In this episode, you're going to see me doing a spit build on making a Bengal tiger exhibit. I spent, I think, a bit too much time, not a bit, but a lot of time trying to figure out the layout of this Bengal tiger exhibit because when I first made it, I don't really know how I want to make it. I do know that I want to put some barrier, like a bit of a moat around the exhibit and where the people are. And if you see the text, the sentences on the right part of the screen, don't mind about it because I used the wrong scene when I was streaming. And yeah, you can see text there, but I was working on this while I was streaming on Twitch. So if you want to check out the stream, you can always go on Twitch and you can follow me there, and the link is in the description. But yeah, I was thinking that maybe we can make a bit of a underground viewing area for where the tiger is going to sleep, and this part is me figuring out where the heck is the place where the tiger's sleeping, because I couldn't see when I was digging the hole for the path of where the people are going to see the sleeping area of the tiger. Later you can see it from the front as well, but it's not that great of a view, and at this time I was very struggling with how to connect it from the top area going to the bottom area to the underground area. But at the end, finally I made it. It's not the greatest, but it works. It gets the job done, so it's a win for me. Because I spent too much time on making the layout of the Bengal tiger exhibit, I didn't put the front part of the clip. I didn't put like the starting part of me making the layout, and I think I don't put like the ending part when I was decorating it because it just takes so much time. I think I spent more than 12 hours on this one exhibit. And at first, I thought I made it a bit too big, a bit too wide for the tiger, but later on, after I put the decorations and the details, I feel like I need to give the tiger a bit more space, even though it's already a lot. But yeah, it was a lot of time that I've put into this exhibit, and I think later on I have some clips of the baby tiger that was born in the zoo while I was decorating the exhibit. At one point, not at one point, but at a lot of points, I didn't pause the game. So don't be alarmed when the years are going by so quickly, because I unpaused a lot when I was making this exhibit. I do really like the end result of this exhibit though, because it's just so pretty. And I can put as much trees and plants as I want, not like how the flamingo went, because for the flamingo I think there's a lot of limitations to it because they don't really like trees and foliage, I think. So yeah, it was quite a struggle, and I really like to put a lot of trees. I really like that my zoo is going to look like it's not a zoo and more like an area, like a place where the animals can feel like they're in the wild kind of thing. Now at this part, while I was making the sleeping area for the tiger, I made it like a den in a way, and an area where if it rains they don't get rain on. But apparently, I don't know why, but the tiger can't go into this place even though it's already flat, like the bottom part is already flat. So I think later on, I'm not going to record this, but later on I'm going to get rid of all the rocks that I've put and the bedding and stuff and change the bottom parts so that the tiger can go there, because the tiger can't go there. And I don't know why, because I've made like a pretty even area for this one. They are supposed to be able to go there, but apparently they're not. And I'm sorry for this part of the recording. I don't know why, but that part is questionably doing that. And I don't think there will be any more stops or scenes like that where it just loses frames. I'm sorry, I can't talk. Let's just move on. So now I'm preparing so I can put the tiger in the exhibit, because I really want to know which part of the exhibit that they can go through, because I was afraid that they can jump out of the exhibit with this shallow of a moat. I think later on I deepen the moat, like the bottom part of the moat. But yeah, I was putting the tiger in and it did jump out, so I was glad that I put in really early on, not like the flamingo, because the flamingo I think I put it a bit later on when I was almost finished building the exhibit. But yeah, for now you can see me putting rocks and making, what do you call it, like traps, not traps, of me putting tiers, I think that's the word, so that the tiger can go out of the sleeping area. Now at this part they can still go out, but later on apparently they can't go out. Later on I'll get rid of some of those rocks and I'll change it to like an actual land and just make some sort of a effect that those are stairs. You will understand what I'll say. You will understand what I'm saying later on in the video, but for now I was still struggling with it. I put too much time on making this look perfect and making it how I like it. The tiger is still struggling with going in and out of where they're going to sleep, and apparently they don't use the place as much as I want later on when I'm finished building the habitat. I'm still glad that I made it because it looks good. It looks perfect for the exhibit that I'm going to make, and I really like that I thought about making an underground viewing area because it actually looks really nice. And I'm still struggling at this part with the path that they're going to use going in and out of the sleeping area. And while I'm still struggling, I'm just going to talk about what animal that I'm going to put next in the zoo. But I really want to put like a crocodile or a gharial. I think it's one of the animals that's in the pack right now that I have. I really like the idea of making the front part of the exhibit like the hot tropical part of the zoo, and it will gradually go colder and colder while you just walk going into the zoo. So at the end of the day, like the front part of the zoo is going to be like the hot tropical Southeast Asia part, and then going to the very back of the zoo is going to be like the colder area where they have like a cooler temperature. I really like that idea, so I think I'm going to hold myself on making the rat panda exhibit because I really like rat panda and I really want to put it early. I really want to put it at the front part of the zoo, but I think rat panda has a cooler temperature, so I'm going to put it around the middle area or at the back area. Finally, we're getting into the decorating part of the exhibit. I really like this part because I can really play with the plants and where I'm going to put structures and plants around. And I put quite a lot of bamboo. I think I put quite a lot of bamboo because I don't really know. I thought bamboo doesn't match tiger. I don't really like the idea at first, but then I played with it and I really like the way I put the bamboos around the exhibit. So every time I put bamboo or I put bushes, I'm going to put a bit of a like grass, like the short grass texture underneath it, so make it look like it's like a little like moss. It gives like a moss effects when you only put a bit of short grass all around the exhibit. And at this Bengal tiger exhibit, I can put as much trees as I want, as bushes, so I can just put them down in the ground and I can just use the leaves and make it has a bush or leaves effects all around it. I do know that I'm going to use a lot of rocks and stones around it because it just give a more natural look. And I'm really glad that I use different types of stones because I think I combined two different types of stones. The regular one, like the regular brownish cream color one, and the mossy stones. And I think I really like the details that I can put with combining two different types of stones and rocks, because with the amount of water in it, if you put rocks and stones too far down, like touching the water, it'll gradually have moss on it, and I really like the idea of that. It gives the effect of those stones and rocks has been sitting there for such a long time that there are moss building up on the stones, and that just gives a more natural look into the exhibit, I feel like. And at one point at this part, I was testing if the tiger can go into the water, and apparently they can. At first I was afraid that it'll be a factor of the tiger that can go out of the exhibit, but at the end I was like, I think it'll be cool if you can see a tiger actually swimming in real life, and not on some sort of a pool, but on like a more natural habitat that they can have. I'm making a little creek at the top part of the exhibit, and I feel and it looks nice. I can play with the how to make waterfall because I don't know how to do that. I was watching some other YouTubers' videos while I was building the exhibit, and it gives me some sort of an inspiration to make the little creek because I didn't know that you can make a waterfall. But yeah, it looks really nice at the end because I put a lot of leaves around it and bushes. I don't trust myself enough to make a good rock foundation and to put rocks and stones randomly around the area. It doesn't look that natural if you only put rocks on it, so I just covered it up with some leaves and plants, and it just makes it look cooler as well. Now I'm putting some rocks at where the waterfall is just to cover like the end of the creek, because you can't really, because at the end of it you need to make the land, like the land part, a bit higher so the water can be inside of the creek, because if not then I just can't put the water. I don't know why, but I really want that to I really want Planet Zoo to be able to just make like a natural waterfall. Like if you put water, they will just flow down, but you can't do that right now, so that's why there are waterfall effects, or just like water effects in general. And at first I was putting this concrete barrier, but apparently I don't know, it doesn't feel natural enough, so I changed it into like a glass barrier, into like a thick glass barrier, because I really like the pull that the glass barrier has, and it makes it feels like the animals are not trapped inside the exhibit. Now that I put a lot of trees and stones around it, it feels more like a natural exhibit, I think. And I really want people to look at the tiger at where the waterfall is, like the waterfall on the left. I will say that because I'm going to put another waterfall at the back of it, at the right part where the people can see. But I really want people to see the tiger from where the waterfall on the left is. So later on I will put almost all of the enrichments around that area, and I'm really glad that the tiger stays there most of the time, because they can't use like the bedding, the place that they can sleep, like the den. I put a bit more bedding, like leaves bedding at the top part, to just give it a variation, and it just gives like a nice cover for the top part, because because in the middle it's going to look so barren, and I just put that leaves bedding on there. Just gives a nice detail as well, which I really like. And I really like that the tiger runs around, I guess. They use like they just run around from the top part to the bottom part, and from the bottom part to the top part. It just gives lives into the exhibit in a way. As I said earlier, I put too much time into this exhibit. I'm not going to show the end part, the detailing part of this Bengal Tiger exhibit. I'm going to still put some cinematic clips of the exhibit of the Bengal Tiger and the exhibit itself, but I'm not going to put every little detail into it because it's just going to be a very, very long video. But if you can see where the keeper's area is at right now, I'm going to move that. At first, I moved it to the right part of the Bengal Tiger exhibit. Like, I detailed it and stuff. I did it on stream, but I don't really like it at the end. So I moved it back to where the original place is. But then I changed it again, and I put like a little platform so people can see the tiger from the front part. And I moved it a bit to the back part of those platform. I mean the keeper's hut. I moved the keeper's hut and all of the staff's area, the staff's building, to the back part of the platform. I will show you in the cinematic how it will be, but yeah, I put quite a lot of time as well. I think I put around 2.5 hours to move and to detail the stabs area at the right side of the Bengal Tiger exhibit, just to move it back to the original place. It just gives me more ideas on how to make the next exhibits after the Bengal Tiger. But I will now stop talking and let all of you enjoy the spit build of this Bengal Tiger exhibit. And of course, I will show a lot of cinematic shots of the tigers and of the habitat, the exhibit itself, at the end of the video. And I hope you enjoy the video of me making a Bengal Tiger exhibit in our little Asia Zoo. And if you have any suggestions on what animals I should put next in the zoo, please do leave a comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. I forgot to say that. I forgot to say don't forget to subscribe at the last episode. But yeah, if you enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like and do all those things that people usually do on YouTube. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.